Go. Ryan Milano from KWVA Sports.
Haley, just first off, going into the season right around the corner, how different is it for you with that extra year of eligibility to now get another season that you weren't necessarily expecting?
I think I'm definitely just playing with nothing to lose this year because I wasn't even expecting to be able to play this year. And I have a newfound appreciation for the game and just to be here. And honestly, for Oregon in general, like I just knew I was going to miss it so much. So the opportunity to come back has just meant the world to me. And it's just made every day so much more fun for me.
James Crapia from the Oregonian.
Haley, how do you balance some of that where I think I could appreciate the idea of kind of like playing with house money to a certain extent, but at the same time, you guys are a top 10 team and could be aspiring for very big things nationally. So not just appreciating, balance the appreciation with also being that competitor who wants to go out and get this program back to where it was earlier in your career.
Yeah, that is definitely a big motivating factor for me to come back in the first place. I knew that we have the opportunity to be really competitive this year. And, I want to leave this program better than I found it. And I think this year we have all the tools that we need to do just that.
Andrew Hobner, KZI.
Yeah, version 2 looked pretty good last year before COVID kind of wreaked havoc on everything. I'm just kind of curious from where version 1 was to what version 2 could have been to what version 3 looks like. How much of a change have those 3 seasons been, and where does it look like version 3 can be this year for you guys?
We've just gotten more and more depth every year, and it's very apparent this year that we have the depth, and I think that's going to play to our advantage a lot this year. We are deep at every position. We have 5 pitchers on our staff that can all get the job done. So I think that's going to be the main difference for us this year, is just having the depth and being able to compete throughout the entire weekend and without getting tired.
Eric Skopel, 247 Sports.
You guys do have some new players. I wonder, has it been difficult maybe to build that team cohesiveness and unity, given that it is COVID and kind of different restrictions with stuff, or kind of what's the process of just kind of getting everybody on the same page so far?
It has been difficult, but it's something that we've been very adaptable with, and we've tried to welcome them with open arms and find new creative ways to bring them into our program. So we just try to find everyday things that we can do to get to know them on a personal level, whether it's, playing catch with different people each day, just trying to make them feel at home, because I can't imagine what they must be going through as a freshman in this process and throughout this time. So we're just trying to welcome them as much as we can.
Ryan Thorburn, Register Guard.
Haley, the schedule just officially came out, and your first home game is in early March, about a year from the last time you guys played at the Jane. You didn't play there much last year, but what's that going to mean to you, I guess, to get back out there, whether there's fans there or not this season?
It might look a little different I don't know what the fan situation is going to be by then, but I just know what it feels like to be at Jane Sanders and the environment that fans have created there. And it's a little bit different without them, but it feels like home. And there's just a comfort level that comes with playing at the Jane that I'm really excited to get back to.
Jordan Brenner, KWVA.
Haley, so I was looking at the schedule today. You get 6 games against number 1 UCLA. And I'm just wondering, you've been a part of some really deep postseason runs in your career. Can you just tell me what you tangibly gain from playing, the number 1, top 5 teams in the country? How important is that to a unit if you do want to go far in a postseason?
That is super important, because when you get to the postseason and World Series, every team you play is a top caliber team. So the more experience that we can get, especially with our young team, to play against these top competitors is going to be really important for our postseason run. And I know we're excited for the opportunity because we didn't get conference play last year. So I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for growth for us.
Ryan Milano, KWVA.
Haley, last year in the shortened season, you started off on a tear batting over 450. Where's the confidence level for you trying to pick up where you left off last year?
I honestly think that's something that I've kind of been battling a little bit, is trying not to compare myself now to what I was last year, because I feel like that's where I can get in a little bit of a hole. And I don't want to lead to any disappointment because we do have a really tough schedule this year. So I think it's really important to me to just focus one game at a time and not try too hard to, live up to expectations or match what I did last year. I just need to make the most of what I can do this year.
James.
Kind of following that, Haley, are there certain numbers? Because it wasn't just any statistic, any one category. You were kind of on a tear and a career pace in every category. So whether it's perfect on the base paths or fielding, is there any particular metric that you're going to be measuring success by this year? I
think when I'm successful, my on-base percentage is high. I've consistently had a pretty high on-base percentage no matter what my batting average looks like. And as a leadoff hitter, I think that's what's most important to me is getting on base and making things happen for my team. So that's something that I like to consistently keep high. But other than that, I think if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then the numbers will speak for themselves.
Brandon Cameraman.
Haley, I know you didn't play together, but Sarah Goodrum got this job as the minor league hitting instructor for the Brewers. I just wanted to know, as a former Duck, what are your thoughts on her getting that job, and have you met her before? Do you know her?
Yeah, I'm super excited for her. I have had some conversations with her because my boyfriend's in the Brewers organization. So we've definitely gotten to connect a little bit through that. And I know she's completely fit for the job and she's going to meet all of these expectations for her. And I'm just really excited that she's an Oregon softball alumni and that she's breaking ceilings out there.
Andrew Hobner.
Yeah, Haley, football and basketball, for instance, didn't really lose seasons. They just kind of had it pushed back or altered a little bit. I mean, you guys in baseball had the unique experience of going through half a year before you essentially lost it. I mean, is there anything that you guys as players take from what last year kind of was and what that feeling was like to bring into trying to dodge COVID and stay right by the protocols and everything this year?
Yeah, I think last year was just a sneak peek of what we are able to bring this year. And I know that we're going to take that into this year because we do have a little chip on our shoulder still from my junior year. So I know we're excited that we finally got the chance to come together with depth last year and to add even more depth and just use that momentum to go into this year. It's going to be key for us.
James.
No way to project and know what's going to happen in late April or May, Haley, but especially with, again, last year and not having a chance to play at home before everything got canceled, have you prepared or have your family, your parents, I'm sure every family wants to be there and see you guys play as much as possible, but right now that isn't possible here. I'm sure it may be possible in Arizona or other spots, but how has your family gone about preparing for it? How have you mentally prepared for the idea of they may not be able to see you play very much, if at all, this season?
It's really hard because they're always super excited to see us play, especially this being my last year and it being shortened last season. So I know they're looking forward to getting any opportunity that they can. And it's looking like it's probably going to be mostly in Arizona that they will get that opportunity. And being from San Diego, I know they're going to make the drive, but I know there's a lot of families who might not be able to make it. So that's something that's going to be really tough for us because seeing your family throughout a long season is really what helps you get through it and makes it a lot easier. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to figure out along the way. And so is every other team. So we're adaptable and we'll make it work.
Haley, that looks like that's all we have for you. Appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you very much.